Hi, and welcome to this week's class. So, last week, you had the opportunity to explore prose poems, and you looked at a poem by Edson and a poem by Stein. You also had to explore the history, the structure of the prose poem. I wanted to remind you that originally that exploration of the prose poem had been in a class wiki, but because some of you had some strong feelings about the earlier wiki, I moved those to the discussion boards. But those will actually count for the prose poem wiki grade. But that being said, last week was about exploring this form of poetry. This week, it's about experimenting with it. It's about getting in and trying our hands at writing it. So there is a discussion board on a more contemporary prose poet, but the main assignment for this week is that you are creating a prose poem chapbook. And what that means is that you will be trying your hand at writing between 7 and 10 prose poems. And if you're not a creative writer, that's okay. This is more a chance to experiment. Um, and one of the things I will be asking everyone, no matter how you feel about creative writing, is that all of your prose poems should be about a single theme. And that's just a way to kind of like give you some like a foothold to explore. So, and that theme could be something like nature or family, relationships, politics. Those are pretty broad themes, but you could narrow that down to explore something that's meaningful to you. And you can see this in Stein. Stein's prose poetry explores a lot of domestic life. In fact, some of her most famous prose poetry is just really related to things in the home. That's in contrast to Edson, who has themes of alienation or of disquiet in relationships. So you can kind of see, just with the little examples that we have from them, just how other people write prose poems in a theme. So after you've written your 7 to 10 prose poems in a single theme, you're going to write a 3-page reflection. And that's going to talk about your poetic decisions, the concepts that you've used. And I want you to go back to the poetic vocabulary that we've talked about earlier in the semester. And you need to use 3 terms. And those 3 terms should be underlined in the body of this essay. And that work is going to be worth 10% of the final grade. And like I said, the poetry part, that is, you have to do it, but that is a place to explore. And it's more, that part will be graded just on whether or not you do it. But this reflection on going through the process, that's going to be graded more heavily. So that part of the project, I want to see you thinking, I want to see you reflecting, analyzing. I want you to use poetic terms that are actually relevant to what you wrote. So kind of exploring those ideas, going back to them. And this is ultimately an opportunity to play with the ideas that we've explored all semester. The last thing I want to say, and this is going back to last week's assignment. So the discussion boards about Stein and Edson, those are just in the normal discussion board um, category in the grading section. But the discussion boards about the prose poem history, form, etc., those three discussion boards will actually be moved into the prose poem wiki category, and that's worth 10% of your grade. So just kind of, that's just kind of reminding you this is nothing new. This is all in the syllabus. But I just wanted to remind you of that distinction, just because even though I put them in discussion boards, they're still having the same function that they had before. Okay, so enough grade talk. I am looking forward to seeing these prose poems. I'm looking forward to seeing your reflections. And just a reminder, they are going to be due next Monday, which is November 16th. So these prose poems are going to be due on November 16th. Okay. Talk to you soon.